Hey Canada, and welcome to Neil Nightly. It's almost summer, the days are getting longer, the skirts are getting shorter. The beautiful people are on our patios drinking, and in our parks, the bums are sleeping. And everybody's out to get laid. Canada, I love this time of year. Speaking of people trying to get laid, we had to fire a new intern. She came on to me after the bikini contest, and everybody knows that I'm married. I'm married to my country. My country, and occasionally I have sex with the caring Canadian's mother. Once again, I'm without an intern, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write my email address on this $5 bill, and then I'm going to go buy some gum with it after the show. And the first person to send me a picture with them and the bill to my email address becomes our new Neil Nightly intern. So, before we get going, I'd like to talk about what pissed me off about last show. Here's your errors and omissions. Censorship. Censorship is an error of omitting information, and that makes the top of my list. I was appalled to see the word censored on my show last week. I had a talk with the man, and I told him if anything else on my program is ever censored, I'm walking. I'll do the show from my living room Tom Green style. I don't even care. Can't be any worse than this set. Brett Hall. Last week I made the error of saying we wanted Brett Hall back, along with all of our other citizens lost to America. I don't know who wrote that one, but I know someone's messing with me. Karen Canadian, I'm looking in your general direction. Brett Hall, we didn't want him in the World Juniors, and we don't want him now. Mark Bayasuti. After investigating some of Mark Bayasuti's futuristic accusations, the picture of me grabbing Evangeline Lilly's ass was found to be a fake. I am not an ass grabber. It was just a picture of him in the future grabbing her ass, and to cover his tracks, he put a picture of me over his image to try and frame me from the future. What a bum crumb. Now that I've got that out of my system, I can deliver to you the nightly news. The Virgin Earth Challenge. It's not what you're thinking. No. We busted Mother Nature's hymen a long time ago. She's been gang-banged and circle-fucked for well over 100 years now. It's a prize of $25 million for whoever can demonstrate to the judge's satisfaction a commercially viable design which results in the removal of anthropogenic atmospheric greenhouse gases so as to contribute materially to the stability of the Earth's climate. You know what? That statement is discriminatory. I am very insulted at that. It discriminates against normal people. You think anyone could follow that? I couldn't. I didn't have a freaking clue what it meant. I had to call David Suzuki. Do you know how hard it is to get a hold of that guy? He's against cell phone use and he is never home. So he boiled it down to me anyway, and it just means that you need to have a well-researched plan on how to save the environment, and the best one will receive $25 million. I have an idea, although I don't have the research done because I keep losing interns, but what about free transit? I mean, they're spending $4 billion on these new vehicle lanes, and how much ever they're spending on the Clean Air Act. They could use that money to fund free transit. If transit was free, a lot of people would abandon their vehicles, opening up the roads and cleaning up our air. Of course, we'll have to upgrade our subway system with computer drivers and run more buses to relieve the added stress to the system, but that just means transit will get better. So you think about it, I'll think about it. If I can find someone to do the research, I'll prepare a special report or something. Everyone's getting creative on this one. Scientists and Australian beer maker Foster's are teaming up to generate clean energy from brewery wastewater. They're using sugar-consuming bacteria to create a fuel cell that'll produce electricity as well as clean water. You want to know who's not getting creative? Jack Layton. Jack Layton doesn't care about the environment. He just wants the votes. He's too much of a crowd pleaser. You'll never see him banning old-school light bulbs or passing a law forcing landlords to make their tenants pay for their electricity separately from the rent. I mean, think of how many people you know who just leave their shit on all the time because they don't pay any difference in rent. But that would make people angry, and that's not the Jack Layton way. Do you remember when the government admitted to us that we weren't peacekeeping in Afghanistan anymore and that we were actually at war? Jack thought the majority of Canadians were going to be livid with it, so he immediately called for the immediate withdrawal of all troops in Afghanistan. And then he found out that we were mostly cool with what our troops were doing over there, and you haven't heard much from Jack about pulling out anymore, have you? And don't even get me started on those ATM fees we all still currently enjoy. You know what? I think Jack should pull his head out of his ass and do something about what he started. And I don't want you to think that just because I'm bad-mouthing him and nobody else, that any other politician is competent or in touch with the people enough to be elected to Prime Minister. So I'm officially denouncing the official government of Canada today, and I am appointing a Prime Minister for the people. Canada, I give you Prime Minister Kennedy.
Family, friends, politicians are used to pretend to matter. Our country is in rough shape. Our farmers are starving, our natural resources are being depleted, and our vacationing citizens are being murdered and robbed. The time for change is now. A government that can't abolish ATM fees in 3 months is a dysfunctional mess. If they can't do something that simple, how can we trust any real issues to be resolved? From this day forward, I promise you to come to you with real, viable platforms to solve the current problems plaguing this great nation. People of Canada, I say to you, have patience, and together we can make Canada, Canada again.